As a sixth-generation Texan, I've had a great privilege of growing up with real professional cowboys and people that work in rodeos and people that run bucking bulls and bucking horses. It was just part of my culture growing up. Also, as a musician, I have just been in awe of some of the friends that the Lord has trusted me with throughout the years. I'm actually with the guy who has been in both of those worlds. Part of a world-famous band, professional musician, bass man, and then also, too, runs his own bucking horse association. But he's one of the great partners and one of the great friends that I have in ministry. Guys, this is Brother Steve Stone. Hello, Steve.
Hello, hello.
How are you, man?
Awesome.
So here we are, man. Can you believe we're here doing this?
No.
No, I can't either, man.
No.
You know, I can remember, I know how you and I both started, and I know how the Lord put us together. And then I know what happened whenever the Lord gave you a heart and caused your heart to just burn when you saw what we were doing all over the world. What's that process been like for you, man?
No, it's been good, man. It's been good because it's really showed me what the heart of God actually looks like. And honestly, you know, when I first gotten, you know, connected with you, it's more like I was so tired of seeing church to try to build church instead of trying to be the church.
Come on.
And it just looks different.
Yeah, it's one of the things we say all the time in doing all the work that we do is we don't do this to get people to come to church. We do this because we are the church.
Yeah.
And this is who the body of Jesus is supposed to be. This is what we're trying to do. And so you started going on trips, and then you end up learning about how we save boys and girls out of sexual trafficking. And you know, there's actually an interesting part of that, and we're going to continue to develop this in years to come. But part of it is horse therapy. Like we have a mutual friend who saves girls right here in Texas, and then actually does lots and lots of horse therapy with them. And you're a horse guy.
Correct.
Right on. So you're a horse guy. You've seen that. You've actually seen these girls. You know the girls that we are rescuing. What kind of impact has that made on you, man?
Oh man, it's just made a huge impact. And I'll tell you what else it's done too. The work that we're doing in Belize, that we've partnered with you and we're doing in Belize, is just, that led to so many other things. Like initially going down there, thinking, man, I'm gonna rescue these girls from being trapped, which we do. But man, has it led to so much more. It just has led to our, you know, from our sewing schools to just feeding people there. And so it just looks so much different everywhere we go, you know.
So when we rescue somebody, and there's a process of how we do that, and of course, every single nation that we work in, there's a different process, right? There's no cookie cutter way of doing this. Everything in the kingdom is relational before it's functional. And you got to get in, and you got to get your boots on the ground. You got to work with people that are already indigenous and are already doing the work. And then you got to figure out, okay, how can we take this to a whole nother level? So we're rescuing girls there. We have a medical clinic that is there, a birthing clinic. And how many babies a year are we birthing there?
Gosh, right now, I was there just a few weeks ago, and I'm thinking an additional, he was telling me there's an additional 150 this year. So I'm thinking 200 or 300
oh my gosh.
girls are coming through there a year, like really.
And we're walking them all the way through their pregnancy.
A year until the baby's a year old.
And we are paying for their sonograms, right? We're paying for their medical care all the way up to that. And then in the process of that, we're finding out a lot of these girls need to be rescued.
That's correct. So we found out the problem was, a lot of them, one of the problems was we were having to send them back and just live in and whatever hell they were having to live in.
Because we didn't have a place to house
them. We
them.
didn't have a place. And so the girls that come in the pregnancy center, that we do realize, man, we got to get them out of this situation. Now we have somewhere to go with them. And we're gonna build more. I think that property is gonna hold 6 houses total, plus the foster home. So 2 of those are almost complete. But when the girls come there, they have a baby. So what we do is Craig has designed a program to keep them there for a year, to teach them a trade, to teach them also not only to work, but with the other girls that are staying there, okay, who's keeping the babies today? And so they're teaching them how to have community. And so that way, after a year, they have enough confidence in themselves, and they're independent enough to go make it on their own. And you know, you and I have talked about this before. The two things that we truly value is freedom and independence. But if you don't have independence, your freedom won't last.
Yep.
You won't stay free if you don't
Yes, sir.
if you don't know how to be independent. You'll just be vulnerable.
So, Steve, is it true that if more and more people partner with us, we'll make a greater and greater difference?
We don't even have time to go into what all we've have planned for the future there, because we also have in the very first stages of planning on what we're going to do with young men there, because if we don't raise up a generation of young men that honor God and honor women, Troy, we'll be rescuing women forever.
That's right. Well, you hit the nail on the head, Steve, on this last trip when you came back, that it blew your mind, that in the nation of Belize, there's only 400,000 people.
Yeah. And 200,000 are under 20 years old.
Are under 20 years old. So if we can reach the youth there, we can reach an entire generation, reach the entire nation.
That's correct. Yeah.
Oh, let's do that.
Yeah.
So if we can mentor kids, if we can mentor young men and young women and say, this is what's right and this is what's wrong.
Yep.
And this is never okay under any circumstance. You know, we're doing a tremendous work in schools down there. And you've seen all the computers that we put in the school because, man, if we can get these kids educated, if we can do that, we come across all these boys and girls that their bodies are racked and they're very special needs. And what's sad is they live out in the middle of the jungle and they're vulnerable to trafficking. Like what? How could they be vulnerable? And then we know, like there's one mama who's never walked a day in her life, and she is raising 3 kids from her bed that she can't get out of, and simply because her house wasn't secure. And as these traffickers go through the jungles and as they're bringing all these people across the border, literally would sell her body. And so we have taken them on, we've taken on her kids, literally have moved them from one place to another place to put them in a much more secure place. Wheelchairs, providing things for kids, we're doing it.
Yeah, they're so vulnerable. I didn't realize until you, again, get over there in a developing country where poverty's this next level poverty, that they're so vulnerable to everything.
Yep.
And evil people, whether that be cartel or whoever those evil people are, they prey on the vulnerable and desperate people, because even families that wouldn't sell their kid into trafficking, listen, when they're starving and they're desperate, they'll do things they wouldn't normally
never do.
So that's why, that's why you and I, this past year during this pandemic in Belize, we had to, where we're building houses, we had to go just hang on that. We've got to keep people alive.
Yep.
So we
built a food bank.
Yeah, we started just feeding people.
And off we went.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, well, we do that. And a lot of times, man, we turn on a dime like that when we see that, okay, we didn't understand this until now. Now we understand this and we're doing that. Well, Steve Stone, thank you so much, man, for all that you're doing. Thank you, bro, for your partnership. And I have 30 seconds left here. What would you tell people, just as far as being a partner, what would you say to them?
Well, I would say you definitely want to partner in something that's bigger than yourself, and that's this. It definitely is bigger than us. But I would just want everyone to know that you literally have the power. You have the power to give life to another person. You literally have power to bring hope into a truly hopeless situation. And it's not just a situation, it's a person that literally you and I get to go over there and look in the eyes of people that it's truly bringing hope to. And that's a big deal. We all have that power.
Okay, so those are amazing testimonies, right? Well, these are all true stories, and this is what God is doing among us. And you know what? Help me get the good news out. Become a media missionary. Like this, share this, subscribe to this, comment on it, and then also hit the little, that little bell button on there, right? God bless you so much.